Success is nothing more than a few simple disciplines practiced every day. Think about that for a moment. Too many people look at success and see only the end result. They see wealth, recognition, or achievement and assume it happens all at once. They forget that every giant success begins with small wins. Each decision, each action, each little step forward is building something far greater than you realize. The question is simple. Are you willing to do the small things consistently today so that tomorrow you can enjoy results beyond imagination? Every day you have opportunities to win in small ways. Maybe it's reading a page of a book that teaches you something new. Maybe it's reaching out to someone to strengthen a relationship. Maybe it's completing a task you've been putting off. These are small wins, but they are far from insignificant. They teach discipline, build momentum, and strengthen your confidence. Over time, these small actions compound, creating results that are far bigger than the effort you put in. What feels tiny today becomes massive tomorrow. The truth is that people fail not because they lack talent or opportunity, but because they overlook the power of small steps. They wait for huge breakthroughs. They wait for perfect conditions, and they wait for motivation that is fleeting. The reality is that progress doesn't ask for permission. It doesn't wait for inspiration. It rewards action. And the simplest form of action is taking one small step, then another and another. That is the secret to compounding success. When you commit to small daily wins, something extraordinary happens. You begin to see momentum. You feel capable. You notice opportunities you previously missed. Each small victory reinforces the next one. Your confidence grows. Your skill grows. Your influence grows. And before long, the results that once seemed impossible are not just possible. They are inevitable. The person you were yesterday is no longer the person you are becoming. That transformation is powered by small wins, repeated without fail. This is not theory, this is practice, this is reality. The principles are simple, but they require discipline, focus, and commitment. Ignore them at your own risk. Because life does not wait, your dreams will not chase you. But if you take consistent action, honoring every small win, your results will eventually exceed even your highest expectations. Small wins matter, small wins compound, and the life you want is built one deliberate action at a time. Outline 1. Focus daily on small actions that improve your life consistently. Success is nothing more than a few simple disciplines practiced every day. Think about that for a moment. It's not luck, it's not genius, and it's not about waiting for some perfect moment. It's about what you do consistently, day in and day out. No matter how small it seems, every action you take compounds, and over time, those small actions become the foundation of extraordinary results. If you want to change your life, you don't need to start with massive leaps. You simply need to start taking consistent, meaningful steps every single day. The key is focus. Too many people spend their energy chasing big opportunities, waiting for some grand event to change everything. But real growth doesn't come from dramatic moments. It comes from what you do consistently when nobody is watching. It comes from the daily choices to read, to learn, to improve, to take action, even when it feels tedious or inconvenient. The question is simple. Are you willing to invest in yourself each day, even in the smallest ways, knowing that these small actions compound into life-changing results? Consistency beats intensity every single time. You may feel discouraged because your efforts seem tiny compared to your goals. Maybe you're trying to start a business, lose weight, or build a skill. You look at the mountain ahead and think, this is too big. This is too slow. But here's the truth. Those small steps, repeated faithfully, are what create the momentum that carries you past the mountain. The man who sweeps the floor every day eventually owns the building. The person who studies an hour daily eventually becomes an expert. It is the small, consistent actions that matter most. Focus also requires clarity. You cannot improve everything at once. You cannot try 100 things and expect any of them to stick. The power of small actions comes from focusing on the ones that truly matter. Identify one habit, one skill, one action that will move your life forward and commit to doing it consistently. It could be writing one page, making one phone call, or reviewing your goals each morning. What matters is that you do it without fail, without excuses, and without waiting for perfect conditions. Progress is measured in increments. Every day you take action, you're making progress. Some days will feel slow. Some days will feel like nothing is happening. That's okay. That's exactly how compounding works. Tiny gains repeated over time lead to massive improvement. The person who works consistently may appear average in the moment, but a year later, they're far ahead of anyone who relied on short bursts of effort. Discipline and daily action always outpace sporadic motivation. Motivation alone is unreliable. It comes and goes, but focus and consistent action do not depend on feelings. You can be tired, distracted, or frustrated, but if you focus on your small daily actions, you continue moving forward. Think about it. Every expert you admire started with small steps, repeated consistently. Nobody became great overnight. It was daily effort, persistent focus, and the refusal to quit, even when results were invisible. That is the quiet power of small wins compounding into massive outcomes. Celebrate the small victories. Each action you take is evidence that you are capable, that you are improving, that you are committed. Small wins build confidence, and confidence builds momentum. When you focus daily on improvement, you don't just change your results, you change who you are becoming. Every small win is a signal to yourself that you are in control, that your life is moving in the direction you want. That feeling, that quiet sense of accomplishment, fuels you to continue taking action day after day. You must also remove distractions and protect your focus. Small actions will be wasted if your energy is scattered. Pay attention to your environment, the people you spend time with, and how you use your attention. It is easy to get pulled into things that do not serve your purpose. When you focus on small, meaningful actions consistently, you create a life of purpose, discipline, and results that cannot be ignored. This is not about doing everything. This is about doing the right things daily without fail. Accountability is essential. When you commit to small actions every day, find ways to track them. Write them down. Check them off. Review them weekly. Seeing your progress, even in small increments, reinforces your habits and strengthens your discipline. When you notice that your consistent daily efforts are building toward real results, you become unstoppable. Success becomes less about luck and more about deliberate, focused effort compounded over time. Remember, the secret to extraordinary results is simple. Focus daily on actions that improve your life consistently. Each day counts. Each choice matters. Each small effort adds up. Over weeks, months, and years, those small actions multiply into results that seem unbelievable to those who rely on luck, chance, or occasional bursts of energy. Your life will be shaped not by dramatic events, but by your daily commitment to small improvements. Take action now. Commit to focus daily and watch as small wins compound into the big life you have always imagined. Outline 2. Commit to tiny habits that build momentum over time. Success is the sum of small efforts repeated day after day. That is the truth. You don't need to make huge leaps to change your life. The real power is in small habits, tiny actions, and steady consistency. It is these small habits committed to daily that build momentum. Momentum is what carries you past challenges, past self-doubt, past fear. When you begin to stack small habits over time, Each one reinforces the other, and suddenly you are moving forward faster than you ever imagined. The first step is awareness. Understand where your life is today. Look at your routines, your actions, and your priorities. Notice the habits that are working for you and those that are holding you back. Then decide which small habits you can adopt that will improve your life. These don't have to be dramatic. They could be reading 10 pages a day, writing down your goals, exercising for 5 minutes, or planning your day each morning. Small habits matter more than big. Consistency is the secret weapon. One tiny habit done once is nothing, but done every day, it becomes a powerful force. Consider the compounding effect. A small habit repeated daily grows stronger over time. The person who writes 1 page every day will have hundreds of pages in a year. The person who saves a small amount every day will have thousands in a few months. The person who dedicates 10 minutes daily to learning will become an expert over time. The key is commitment and repetition, not perfection. Momentum is built by habit stacking. You take one habit and attach another. If you read 10 pages every morning, add a 5-minute reflection afterward. If you exercise daily, add a short stretch routine. These small additions, compounded, create unstoppable momentum. You begin to see progress in multiple areas of life without feeling overwhelmed. Each habit reinforces the other. You begin to gain confidence, energy, and clarity. You start moving faster because small actions create a rhythm that propels you forward. Avoid distractions and focus on what truly matters. Small habits will not matter if your energy is scattered. The average person wastes time on trivial activities, social media, or idle conversations. Protect your time and energy. Commit to habits that grow you, develop skills, improve health, and strengthen your mind. You don't need to do everything. You only need to do the right things consistently. That focus creates momentum that others will envy but cannot replicate unless they commit with the same discipline. Habits are your building blocks. They define your character and shape your life. Choose wisely. Every small habit you commit to builds your identity. If you read daily, you become a learner. If you plan daily, you become organized. If you exercise daily, you become disciplined. Your habits tell your brain and your environment who you are. When your habits align with your goals, they become the engine of momentum, pulling you forward even when motivation fades. Track your progress. Without measurement, habits lose power. Small wins feel invisible unless you acknowledge them. Keep a journal, mark off completed actions, and reflect on your growth. This tracking creates a feedback loop. You begin to see how your tiny habits are creating momentum, strengthening your confidence, and moving you closer to your goals. Accountability is not just to others, it's to yourself. When you see the results, you are motivated to continue to improve and to add even more habits to your routine. Patience is essential. Momentum doesn't appear instantly. You will not feel the power of your habits the first day or the first week. It takes time for compounded actions to produce noticeable results. This is where most people quit. They do not see immediate rewards and they lose faith. But if you persist, if you commit daily, if you stack your habits intentionally, the results will come. And when they do, they are not small, they are transformative. Energy. Small habits require consistent effort, but that effort is easier when your body and mind are prepared. Sleep well, eat properly, and maintain your health. Your habits demand energy and attention. Momentum grows faster when your energy is high. You will perform better, stay focused longer, and enjoy the process. Small habits, fueled by good energy, become unstoppable forces that shape your results and your life. The ultimate truth is this: small habits build momentum, and momentum creates massive results. There is no shortcut. There is no luck. There is only consistent action, repeated daily over time. Commit to habits that improve your mind, your body, your skills, and your relationships. Protect your focus, track your progress, and remain patient. Momentum is built quietly, invisibly, but when it arrives, it changes everything. Your life will no longer be about struggle. It will be about unstoppable forward motion, driven by the power of your small daily habits. Outline 3, track progress every day to strengthen your personal growth. Without measurement, you have no control. Without control, you have no direction. This is the principle that separates those who succeed from those who drift through life. If you want to grow, improve, and achieve results that matter, you must track your progress every day. It is not enough to hope for success or rely on motivation alone. Daily tracking gives you clarity, accountability, and insight. It allows you to see what works, what doesn't, and where your energy should be focused. Every step, no matter how small, becomes meaningful when it is measured. Begin by defining what matters most in your life. What are your goals, your priorities, and your vision? Once you know what you are aiming for, you can track your actions toward it. If your goal is financial growth, track your income, savings, and investments daily. If your goal is health, track your exercise, nutrition, and sleep. If your goal is personal development, track your learning, reading, or skill building. Daily measurement turns vague intentions into concrete actions that you can control and improve. Tracking your progress builds awareness. Most people drift through life without noticing how their choices impact their results. They act without reflection, and weeks, months, or years pass with minimal growth. When you track your progress daily, you begin to see patterns. You notice what drains your energy, what habits serve you, and what actions move you closer to your goals. This awareness allows you to make smarter decisions, adjust your course, and maximize your results. Growth without awareness is slow and unreliable. Tracking accelerates it exponentially. Daily tracking reinforces accountability. When you commit to noting your actions, you hold yourself responsible. You cannot ignore what you record. You cannot pretend to take action if you haven't. This creates integrity with yourself. Over time, accountability becomes a habit. You begin to value your word, your commitment, and your efforts. Accountability strengthens discipline, and discipline produces results. Every entry in your progress log is proof that you are consistent, that you are acting with intention, and that your efforts are building momentum toward your goals. Small adjustments create big results. Tracking progress allows you to identify what needs to be improved. Both. If you notice a pattern of wasted time or missed opportunities, you can correct it. If you see certain habits producing disproportionate results, you can amplify them. Measurement creates insight, and insight allows action. By refining your actions based on what you track, you create a cycle of continuous improvement. This is how ordinary people transform into extraordinary performers through consistent, informed, and deliberate adjustment of their daily efforts. Tracking also fuels motivation. Seeing progress, even small progress, ignites energy and commitment. Humans respond to evidence. When you see numbers improving, habits strengthening, or goals moving closer, it motivates you to continue. Without tracking, you may feel stagnant, uncertain, or discouraged. Progress may be happening, but you cannot see it. Daily tracking shines a light on your efforts and proves to you that you are moving forward. That proof keeps you consistent even when challenges arise or distractions appear. Tracking develops perspective. Over time, you begin to see how small actions compound into major results. One day may seem insignificant, but as you review your progress over weeks and months, the growth becomes clear. You start to understand that success is not one dramatic moment, but the accumulation of countless tiny efforts. You recognize that daily discipline, repeated actions, and small improvements create exponential results. perspective prevents frustration, impatience, and the temptation to quit because you can now see the long-term power of your consistent actions. Use simple tools to track your progress. It doesn't need to be complicated. A notebook, a spreadsheet, or a daily journal is enough. What matters is consistency, clarity, and honesty. Record your actions, your wins, your setbacks, and your reflections. Note what worked and what didn't. Review your entries regularly. This system becomes your personal compass. It shows where you've been, where you are, and where you need to go. It allows you to navigate life with intentionality rather than wandering aimlessly. Daily tracking all strengthens focus. When you know that you will be recording your efforts each day, you naturally prioritize what matters. You spend less time on trivial distractions and more time on high-value actions. Your habits become aligned with your goals. Your energy is directed toward activities that create measurable results. Tracking transforms effort into results because it forces conscious awareness, deliberate action, and reflection. You learn to value your time, focus on what produces the most impact, and eliminate actions that are meaningless or draining. Ultimately, progress is power. Tracking progress daily is not just a tool, it is a strategy for mastery. It creates clarity, builds accountability, fuels motivation, develops perspective, strengthens focus, and enables continuous improvement. Those who track daily are always aware, always growing, and always moving toward their goals. Those who do not track are left guessing, drifting, and reacting to circumstances instead of creating their future. Your life is built on the actions you take, but the power of those actions is unlocked through awareness and measurement. Track your progress every day and you will be unstoppable. Outline 4. Improve your skills a little each day without excuses. Your life does not get better by chance. It gets better by change. And that change begins with you deciding to improve your skills, even if it is just a little each day. Progress does not require massive leaps overnight. It requires steady, deliberate, daily improvement. When you commit to enhancing your abilities consistently, you start creating value in your life that cannot be taken away. Every skill you learn, every improvement you make, compounds over time and becomes a part of who you are. The first step is to identify the skills that matter most to your life and your goals. What abilities will move you closer to success? What knowledge or expertise will give you an advantage? Focus on those skills that have a real impact on your career, your business, or your personal growth. Trying to learn everything at once is overwhelming and ineffective. So instead, pick 1 or 2 high-value skills and commit to improving them a little each day. Without excuses, consistency is key. Even 10 minutes a day dedicated to improving a skill will yield significant results over weeks and months. Many people fail not because they cannot learn, but because they do not persist. The human mind loves instant gratification, but real improvement is built slowly and steadily. By dedicating yourself to small daily actions, you reinforce discipline, develop mastery, and slowly turn learning into habit. Each day builds on the previous day, and over time, the cumulative effect becomes remarkable. Remove excuses. Excuses are the enemy of growth. Everyone has responsibilities, challenges, and distractions. The difference between those who succeed and those who don't is how they respond. You cannot wait for the perfect time, the perfect conditions, or perfect energy. You must act regardless. Even small, imperfect action is better than no action at all. Improvement requires courage, commitment, and the willingness to do what others are unwilling to do. Excuses are the chains that keep you from your potential. Break them daily. Focus on deliberate practice. Simply going through the motions will not create progress. To improve a skill, you must practice intentionally. Identify the areas where you struggle and work specifically to strengthen them. Seek feedback and be willing to adjust. Push yourself slightly outside your comfort zone each day. Growth does not happen when you play it safe. Deliberate effort, focused attention, and daily refinement are the ingredients of mastery. Even small targeted improvements compound over time and set you apart from those who rely only on talent or luck. Track your improvement. Measurement provides motivation. When you see that you are gradually improving, it reinforces your commitment. Keep notes on what you have learned, what challenges you overcame, and what results you achieved. This daily reflection helps you stay accountable and allows you to identify patterns of success. It also gives you confidence. Knowing that your skills are getting stronger provides momentum to continue, even when progress feels slow. Daily tracking ensures you remain consistent and intentional in your pursuit of growth. Learn from others. Improvement does not require reinventing the wheel. Study those who have already mastered the skills you want to acquire. Read books, attend workshops, watch instructional videos, and listen to experts. Absorb knowledge and apply it incrementally. Even small lessons applied consistently create measurable improvement. Learning from others accelerates your progress and saves you from making unnecessary mistakes. Combine this with daily practice, and you are building a foundation for success that is strong, practical, and unstoppable. Be patient. Skills are not mastered in a day or a week. Mastery takes time, persistence, and daily effort. It is easy to get discouraged when results are not immediate. However, the key is to focus on the process rather than the immediate outcome. Daily improvement, even if invisible at first, compounds into extraordinary results over time. Your patience and commitment today are what will produce the breakthroughs tomorrow. Trust the process, trust your effort, and never underestimate the power of small, consistent improvement. Avoid distractions and prioritize learning. Time is your most valuable resource. Protect it. Dedicate specific portions of your day to improving your skills and eliminate interruptions. Treat this time as sacred. When you focus, your improvement accelerates. You will discover that even 15 to 30 minutes of intentional practice per day can create a significant advantage over those who spend hours without direction. Focused, consistent, and deliberate effort beats long hours of unfocused activity. Small daily improvement is powerful, but only when it is done with intention and concentration. Celebrate progress. Every step forward matters. Even incremental gains indicate growth and reinforce your commitment. Do not wait for perfection or final mastery to acknowledge your effort. Recognize your achievements, no matter how small. This acknowledgement fuels your motivation and builds confidence. As your skills improve, you begin to see opportunities that were previously out of reach. You begin to operate at a higher level in your work, your relationships, and your life. Small daily improvements, repeated without excuses, compound into remarkable results that shape your future. Ultimately, improving your skills a little each day is not just about ability. It is about mindset. It is about proving to yourself that you are capable of growth, that you are disciplined, and that you value your own potential. Skills are power, and daily improvement creates unstoppable momentum. Do not underestimate the impact of small, consistent action. Take responsibility, focus, remove excuses, and commit to deliberate improvement. Over time, you will be amazed at what you have achieved. Small daily steps create mastery, success, and the life you desire. Outline 5. Use momentum from small wins to tackle bigger goals. Success is not a leap. It is a series of steps taken with purpose and persistence. Think about that for a moment. Many people set big goals and feel overwhelmed because they look only at the finish line. They imagine how far away it is, how much effort it will take, and they hesitate. But the reality is simple. Every big achievement is made possible by momentum. Momentum is built through small wins. Every small action, every little victory adds energy and confidence that carries you forward toward larger goals. Momentum is a force you create with repeated action. When you complete a task today, even something small, you prove to yourself that you can act. You gain control over your decisions. You strengthen your discipline. That small win may feel insignificant in the moment, but it is a spark. And when sparks accumulate, they ignite. The key is not to wait for massive motivation. It's to act consistently, to achieve small victories, and to use that energy to take on the next challenge. Consider this: each small win is proof of possibility. Of possibility. It shows you that you can follow through, that you can achieve results, and that you are capable of progress. Momentum feeds on proof. When you see that your small efforts create outcomes, you begin to believe in yourself more deeply. That belief translates into courage. It gives you the power to tackle bigger tasks that once intimidated you. Momentum turns hesitation into action. It transforms doubt into confidence. And it moves you step by step toward goals that previously felt unreachable. Momentum is cumulative. One win leads to the next. One task completed encourages the next task to be done. One challenge overcome builds the courage to face the next challenge. This chain reaction is the essence of progress. You do not need giant breakthroughs to move forward. You only need to commit to consistent action, to honor small victories, and to trust that they compound over time. Each step builds speed, each success builds confidence, and each moment of action builds momentum. Using momentum effectively requires strategy. It is not about random action. It is about deliberate steps in alignment with your bigger goals. Start with what you can control today. All right. Complete a task you can finish. Solve a problem you can manage. Each accomplishment adds weight to your forward motion. As you progress, the wins feel easier, your energy grows, and the next challenge no longer seems impossible. Momentum transforms effort into power, and power creates results that surprise even you. Small wins also provide clarity. Each success shows you what works and what does not. They are feedback mechanisms that guide your actions. When you move from one small victory to the next, you learn faster, adjust more effectively, and make better decisions. That is how momentum becomes not just movement, but intelligent movement. You are not simply spinning your wheels, you are steering your life toward larger goals with evidence and experience guiding your path. It is critical to recognize the emotional component of momentum. Every small win generates confidence, satisfaction, and determination. These emotions are fuel for bigger actions. They counter fear and hesitation. They give you the energy to tackle tasks that once seemed intimidating. Without momentum, it is easy to stall, to procrastinate, or to lose belief in yourself. With momentum, energy builds naturally and challenges become manageable because you are riding the force of your own consistent success. Momentum also allows you to handle setbacks more effectively. When a challenge arises or a mistake happens, the energy of your accumulated small wins helps you recover faster. You do not feel defeated because you are already in motion. You have proven to yourself that progress is possible, and that gives resilience. This is why leaders, achievers, and successful people emphasize starting small and building consistently. Momentum acts like a shield against discouragement. It protects you from the weight of temporary failure. To use momentum to tackle bigger goals, start by mapping out small, achievable steps toward the larger objective. But break the big goal into daily, weekly, and monthly actions. Each action is a small win waiting to happen. Commit to completing these actions consistently. Celebrate each victory, no matter how minor it seems. Each accomplishment is not just progress, it is fuel. It is the engine that propels you toward more ambitious achievements. Momentum is the bridge between what is and what can be. Finally, remember that momentum compounds. The more you act and win, the more natural forward motion becomes. The energy grows, confidence rises, skills improve, and challenges that once seemed impossible become routine. You become unstoppable because you are not relying on luck, motivation, or circumstance. You are relying on yourself, on the power of your actions, and on the momentum you have created through consistent effort. Momentum turns small wins into extraordinary results. Commit today to creating momentum in your life. Identify the small wins you can achieve immediately. Take action. Complete tasks. Learn from each success. Use the energy you generate to tackle bigger goals. Do not wait for perfect timing or dramatic inspiration. The greatest force in your life is the momentum you create through small, consistent actions. Every step matters. Every win matters. The bigger results you desire are waiting for you, and the only way to reach them is to harness the power of momentum. One small victory at a time. Every small victory reinforces confidence. Every completed task strengthens your discipline. Every tiny improvement proves to yourself that you are capable, that you can control your actions, and that you can achieve results. People often underestimate the power of minor steps. They wait for huge breakthroughs or dramatic changes, and in doing so, they miss the compounding force of daily action. Success does not ask for permission or wait for perfect timing. It rewards those who consistently show up, who do the work, and who honor the process. Consistency compounds. Small wins lead to bigger wins. Small progress each day builds into momentum that carries you through challenges. Challenges that once seemed impossible become manageable because your foundation is solid. You develop habits that work in your favor. You learn to trust yourself, to believe in your effort, and to rely on your discipline. Growth becomes natural because it is no longer a struggle. It is a pattern of action that you repeat without hesitation. Your confidence grows, your skill grows, and your results grow, all because you valued small wins. Momentum is not magical. It is earned through deliberate action and unwavering commitment. Every time you complete a task, take a step, or push yourself beyond a limit, you are creating energy that propels you forward. Do not ignore these small victories thinking they are insignificant. They are the building blocks of achievement. They teach patience, resilience, and focus. They show that progress does not require perfection. It requires action. And action repeated consistently always produces results. Your future is not determined by luck, by talent, or by circumstances. It is determined by the daily actions you take and the wins you accumulate over time. Each small win is a deposit in your success account. You may not feel rich today, but as the days turn into weeks and months, those do something powerful. They create momentum, results, and opportunities that you never imagined possible. This is the principle of compounding at work, not in money, but in your life, your skills, your relationships, and your impact. Do not wait for motivation or perfect conditions. Motivation comes and goes, but the habit of taking small steps every day is unstoppable. Your results are not defined by how you start, but by whether you continue. Keep showing up, keep winning in small ways. Record them, acknowledge them, and celebrate them. Every win is proof that you are progressing, that you are learning, and that you are becoming the person capable of achieving your goals. Now think of the people who achieve greatness. They are not always the ones who have the most talent or luck. They are the ones who respected the small wins, who acted daily, and who let those wins compound over time. They understood that every little step mattered, that momentum builds slowly, and that consistent effort is the engine of extraordinary results. Their lives are not the result of chance. They are the result of deliberate, repeated, and intentional action. So take responsibility today. Take charge of your actions. Track your progress, celebrate your small victories, and use them to fuel the next step. Do not underestimate yourself, your effort, or the power of compounding. Success is created, not wished for. Every small win is a signal that you are on the right path, a step closer to your goals, and a reinforcement that you can do what you once thought impossible. The greatest power you have is in your hands right now. Your ability to act, your ability to take one more step, complete one more task, improve one more skill, or make one more small win happen today. These actions, repeated over time, will create momentum that carries you past obstacles, challenges, and doubt. The results will astonish you because they are the natural outcome of consistent, intentional action. Remember, life does not reward big ideas alone. It rewards execution. Execution done consistently, execution done every day. Execution that respects small wins, leverages them, and lets them compound. If you commit to this approach, if you honor every small step, the results will follow. Your goals will be reached, your potential will be realized, and your life will transform in ways that are undeniable, unstoppable, and remarkable. Start today, take that step, no matter how small, record it, act again tomorrow, and continue. Small wins may feel invisible at first, but in time, they create results that are massive, undeniable, and life-changing. Your future is built one small win at a time, and the decision to honor them is yours. Every day you act is another day your success compounds. Your time is now, your effort is priceless, and your results are waiting.